I'll be speaking in English, and at some point I'll also be just bahasing the Olaf and the Source. I think it's important for us to talk on, to speak on our national languages for the people that are listening to actually understand the kind of message that we are sending out there. First of all, I'll be talking on the NUP selection process. Since the appointment of Dr. Lamin Jedabo, His Excellency Dr. Lamin Jedabo, there has been a lot of speculation in the social media space and then in the general public. People are trying to kind of like understand exactly what led to this decision. Like, we've been priding ourselves in being, if not one, in fact, I'm not going to use the term one of. We are the most organized political party in this country. We are different, and our approach is absolutely different from other conventional political parties in this country. And I will tell you why. First of all, the NUP prides in what we call a head-hunting exercise. Now, what we will do is every executive member is either elected or appointed, depending on the position as enshrined in the Constitution. These executive members are given the prerogative to go out and fetch, to go out and do what we call, a head-hunting exercise, to look for people out there. Because if you look at, what the Deputy National Chairperson explained here with regards to how the NUP was incepted, these people that started this movement, this revolution, they passed a resolution that none of them is going to take any leadership roles in this country. For a simple reason, they do not want people to take ownership or to feel they own the party. If you look at most parties in this country are dying out because their leaders refuse to either leave or they are no more. These are some of the things that we wanted to discourage in our politics, because we believe our parties are supposed to be owned by the people, not individuals. Now, after this headhunting exercise is concluded, because we usually have a time frame, this list of people will be nominated at the level of the executive. And after this nomination, their names are presented. What we do is called consultation. This consultation, we will send a team out there to go and meet those people, discuss with them why the NUP needed their service. Because it is no more about party, it is no more about individualism, it's about country. After these consultations were made, or have been made, the party will involve in what we call a background check. Your Excellency, excuse me, because we didn't inform you that we actually conducted a background check on you. So it was a very rigorous process. In that background check, we look at certain things. First of all, we look at your level of integrity. We look at your education-wise. We look at your faith. It's very important. Coming na Deputy National Mobile Deputy National Chairperson ya Fonyabi. Mo memban sila ala nale banko sika alia dial. Ase dunya wonyang amare be sulubra. Because amalon ko soma nate fat ala bata kidinela. To don tol ko be mo tammi na mbe anga ala nya sila ngosoto. Anu ninga banko la fengo sika nga diala aba marala anyenta marala nyami. People need to understand one thing. The president, they are not doing anyone a favor. Doku lalle mele alon ko nalaka doku ni ntol bulunga doku sika ngadi. Odo ni la doku sika di moment ita lafta mina nyanta wala kelede. Among is not the other way around. So come on, after this rigorous background check, then it comes to the decision-making process. It's usually very, very heated at the level of the NUP. Because these facts will be presented, people will look at it from different angles until we agree on a candidate. If you do not agree, that means we have to go into elections. But normally we do agree on someone. Because, in the end, our drive is all the same. Then after someone is actually agreed on, we conduct what we call a vetting process. Now, this vetting, the individual will be invited to our party headquarters, like we did with His Excellency Dr. Lamin Jedabo. We will engage you in not necessarily a debate, but a discussion, a dialogue, to kind of like understand who really is Dr. Lamin Jedabo from himself. Because even in the court of law, just the last time I was talking to someone, he was like, so even in the court or in any investigative process, the person that is under investigation have a right to give him the opportunity, to kind of like defend himself. The same thing implies here. The person that you are appointing, you need to give that person the opportunity to speak to the people, to understand, firsthand who that person really is. After that vetting process comes the appointment. That is how our, selection process is usually conducted. Now, people can argue, people can have a different mindset as to, how practical it is, how pragmatic it is. But for us, we believe this is the best process. A headhunting exercise is usually, just look at our workplaces. People that are actually, taken from somewhere, trained and nurtured, are usually, better service deliveries than the rest of the people. The other thing I'll be discussing on is some cardinal principles of the NUP. Why the NUP is a unique brand. Let's look at the leadership perspective of the NUP, like what I just explained here. Mulen nyim patiolo. Kabiringe patiolo, you go to mele patiolo, more teje meya along abe patio nyaron kaya. Tato nyin taya nin tia after ko wala bundi kame politiko. Just to tell you, Dr. Lamin Jedabo is not a founding father of this party. Kabring patio nyulota, it takes us to the second cardinal principle, is the People's Manifesto, the manifesto. Patio was funded in 2018, but it was registered in 2020. There is a 2 years gap. Now, this 2 years gap, what the NUP executive did is what we call data collection. Na molel ki banko rotaring, itara banko be tama, the Gambia dingo nyininga atoli amere alla banko nyinta marala nyadi. That's what we call it bottom-top approach. Karon dolbe lare nyinela ko, buko wala kitabu menyenda ka banko mara, wo mo anyenta mel marala nyenta kanso tolaje. We conducted this data collection process, informational collect. Of course, we consulted some subject matter specialists, not nangana manifesto safewola, wa nanga tola the People's Manifesto. Then it takes us to the third one, that is our governance structure. After Gambia Dingolia Kalamudoko, National Unity Party is the only party we enshrine term limits in our constitution, both in government and in opposition. That is to say, Dr. Lamin Jedabo is going to serve for 2 terms. And I know for a fact that, inshallah, come 2026, he's going to win his 4th term. And then there is what we call separation of party from the state. Along politics of patriotism, politics of patronage, what is the Gambia? Mulka jele kondabe struggle on tefan nyina palaso struggle. And there was a time after 2016 election. Alpha Balbe si nyimbango Gambia lonko ye nyini nga bwande kare tomo yake nyini la kala kaya kom abena patio kon la struggle okay. And I am unapologetic about that, which we believe is wrong. Ntolbe la nyina ko mansakunda palaso should be merit based. Anyata kala multi me lonko I doko no, I doko kalamuda a londo so. Wale at kendin tolko B nim doctor kara fatu the State House. It is not incumbent upon him to carry any Vilambona Palaso de la Force Honey. Abi Momo Tomona Palaso de la Mumana Bakela Multimianco Gambedimolo. I do no Lundo Senatama, Nai Banco de la Asaduku, Nai Palaso de la Asaduku. That is very, very rare. Because Naftamina will need to go Mulsa understand coming Banco in Patio Monkey. Now, people might ask the question, can you be the What we are going to do as a party is the first watchdog of his government. You're going to help him govern. Now, on a quarterly basis, I'm invited to the NUP headquarters. He's only going to be a member. The congregation will be led by the national chairperson. The campaign promises the demo. We discuss on certain topical issues. Your Excellency, we promise A, B, C, and D. Lemene keno foro la mansa kunda nga ere ke mam bike mula na mam bike nyinni nga fa wodo se haketo nyinni akumata bake mul mele yalan ko yemu dana for State House ya ma ko anyata banko do kula nyame. That also brings us to what we call national unification, because nga jele na deputy national chairperson nga for the honorable Anomonje akumata bake ko mul ya understand dan tol beja membe deng e ka fo me du common denominator is Gambia. Gambia la ñaato ta be sunding kambe ngon abe sunding ñomutola abe sunding ñaato ta ko. The only thing that can bring this is national unification. So in Dola Party, we pride ourselves in that. Rather than the name National Unity Party came into existence. So on Dol, we will prioritize how we reconcile our nation, how we heal our nation, post the dark eras of, what we've been through for the past years. And then again, we will do what we call decentralization of government. Most of our government officers are in Banjul. We believe coming Gambia, irrespective of wherever you are, you should feel the presence of government. When are getting development of decentralized, make sure Momoron Nimbedawoda is a Mansakunda in Kalam. And Adabe will Mansakunda office will be moved from the center to the periphery. That is Bundi Banjulin Kombokono, Kajanjan Sate Konotari.